Thank you, everybody. So now, just to let you know, we will open, all the rooms. So we have 5 different stages you can visit. But the next 2 talks are really interesting. The first one is called Working in the Metaverse. This is all, one of the important topics of this conference is basically all the new work that will be created thanks to the metaverse. All the new people, architects, designers, maybe, working in the casino in the metaverse, working in something, you don't know. We don't know, I think Sébastien have a great slide he like to show with about 50 different work, that are created in the metaverse, and I think it's really impressive. And so now you will see few of them. So I invite you to see this talk, and I invite you also to stay for the next one that will be with OneFootball. So the 2 next one that will happen there will be quite interesting. So I would like to ask Chris from NFT Plaza to come on stage. Chris, come on. You can applaud him. So Chris will be the moderator for this panel. How are you, Chris?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice to see you.
How's it going?
So Chris, you have the mic. You can take a chair. You have the stage.
Sure.
And so the people will come there. And I will bring one more chair because I think we have a surprise guest. And so now you can call all the panelists if you want.
Excellent, yes, so I'd like to introduce Marie, Vaughn, Johan, and Julian to the stage, please.
Hi.
Are they still getting
Hey,
mic?
come on, guys.
How are you?
Hello.
I think they're still getting mic'd.
Okay.
So good morning, NFC Lisbon, GM. I just want to start by saying it's fantastic to see so many new faces here today, both new and old. I think we've seen an incredible growth in the NFT industry over, especially the last 18 months. And just to see so many new people with new ideas, new motivation, and fresh skill sets is fantastic to see. So welcome to everybody who's new here. And I hope you get a lot to take away from the next 2 days. So this morning, I'm planning on having a chat with a few of the industry experts in the metaverse. All these guys have created a business on the back of the metaverse, so their businesses are purely based on that, and I guess they're both working on and working in the metaverse. So we're going to have a little bit of a chat and just a casual discussion today. Hopefully you get a lot to take from it. And then maybe for the last 10, 15 minutes, we'll move to some questions. And so if you guys want to write down any questions, and then we can run through audience questions. Cool, so I guess I should start off by introducing myself. My name's Chris. On a personal level, I'm a long-term investor in virtual land. So I played quite a big role in the Decentraland community in the early days. So what we did, so I took part in the first ever virtual land auction, which was way back in Decentraland in 2017. And ever since then, I've fallen down the rabbit hole and I've not been able to get out. So I'm now investing in crypto voxels, Somnium Space, and basically anything NFT related. But I would say my specialism is the metaverse. On a business level, I'm CEO and founder of NFT Plazas. That's Plazas with an S at the end. Quite a lot of people forget that. And what we are is we're an NFT-focused news, media, and entertainment company. So we create fresh daily news about NFTs, and over the years we've become, I guess, the go-to place for many people who want trustworthy content. So we filter out a lot of the, what we would suspect as bad actors, and we want to work with the best people in the industry who really care about NFTs and are going to spend some time helping grow out the community. So we also work with clients as well to help promote their projects, and we work in various ways, such as one of our major promotional methods is our network of metaverse billboards, which are placed, we've got over 90 odd locations now. They're placed throughout various lands in Decentraland, Crypto Voxels, Somnium Space, and soon the Sandbox. So that's a little bit about me, but less about me and more about the experts that we have here today. So maybe we'll start off with ladies first. Marie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nabia Studio. And we work on the metaverse, the Sandbox. And Nabia Studio wouldn't exist. It's a metaverse native company. It exists because there's an opportunity on the metaverse, and we are specializing on the Sandbox. And we are working on our own title, Elements. And we have many clients project because there's a lot of demand at the moment.
Vaughan, would you like to continue?
Hi, I'm Vaughan Holloway, and I am the founder and CEO of Primordial Game Studios. We're an independent game development studio based in Dundee, Scotland, right on the doorstep of Abertay, if you guys know that. And we've been working with Sandbox since June. We have a project, Isla Obscura, which has currently released 3 seasons of NFT collections, if you guys know the marketplace, and we've got our 4th one coming next week. And yeah, so that's me. I never know how to finish these things, so just start talking over me when it sounds like I'm flagging.
Sure, you
right?
just freestyle, you go for it.
We started at the same time, actually.
We did,
Yes.
we did, yeah.
With
yeah.
the Sandbox, yeah. It
Yeah,
was 10
all
months
in
ago
June.
only. It feels like 10 years.
It does, and I lost
It's
a lot.
intense.
And we have Johan at the end.
Yeah, Johan. So I'm the CEO of
It's
UBK, a
horrible.
video game studio, working in different type of games, VR, PC, and mobile. And since 1 year, we're working on metaverse, on Sandbox. And I'm also the CEO of Paris Shanghai, is a communication agency. And with this agency, we try to bring some brand in metaverse, so in Sandbox most of the time. And for them, we have an offer because most of them are very afraid about the world of crypto money, NFT, wallet. So we have an offer for them. So we help all the brands to come in metaverse to have their own experience. And we have our own lens in Sandbox. So we rent the lens for the first step of this brand in metaverse. And after, I know that they will buy our own lane and have their own experience, total experience.
Fantastic. And moving on finally to our special guest,
Yeah.
last but not least, Julian.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Julian. I'm not the CEO, but I'm Missing Parts game director. I'm working for Celsius Online Studio, and we are also working with the Sandbox. So, yeah, as you could see, our booth over there with many balloons. We started this journey with the Sandbox 9 months ago, and as a video game studio, that was our first step into the metaverse, crypto, NFTs, etc. So that was really interesting to work along and still working along with the Sandbox.
Fantastic. So I guess we should start off by maybe discussing how you found your way into the metaverse, and maybe just a quick idea about where you were initially and how you managed to, I guess, transfer your skills over to what you're doing today in the metaverse.
So I've been in this space for 4 years. I was already working for a video game company specializing on the blockchain. And 4 years ago, Sébastien Borget was already pitching to video game developers about the Sandbox. And he wasn't mentioning the word metaverse there yet. And 2 years ago, I started trying and testing, and I thought that, this is a great way to empower actually artists, especially struggling ones. There are many out there. And 10 months ago, we started the adventure. We set up the company, hired the artist, but working for the metaverse, you still need to make a game designer, you need a level designer, you need all the conventional jobs, and then you have the extra layer of decentralization, specializing on the Web3 and a different way of working. Workflow is quite different with the in-house tools, and yeah, that's.
I think it'd actually be interesting to get everybody's reply on this particular question. So how have you found yourself in the metaverse, and where were you before, and how have you transferred your skills over?
Sure. So I worked as a Unity dev forever. I was a Unity dev for 5 years, working with various companies around Scotland. Basically, Primordial Game Studios we're actually set into two facets. So one side actually works for Sandbox right now, but we also have a Unity side of development, which works showcasing world history games. Anyway, I developed a culling system, which was this culling system / LOD script procedure, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was freaking gold, not to pat myself on the back. And I decided to found Primordial around creating a game that would showcase Scottish history by using this culling system to basically create this really, intense graphically inclined game, which would have like 90% culled at one time. And at the time, we had about 3 people, and we all just started taking freelance jobs just around the world. And I was working with a company called Aardvark Swift, which is a UK-based recruitment company. And so I got put in touch with Sandbox, and I had a chat with Seb. And I was originally going to be hired to do some freelance work on Sandbox. And so I put together a little game, which was the first iteration of Isla Obscura. And then after I'd done all the paperwork and everything, Seb got back to me and he said, look, we did a background check on you, and it turns out you've got this company. And we were like, yeah, well, we've got big plans, but right now we're basically just gathering dust, and we're still just trying to figure out exactly what it is that, we're still trying to get funding and everything. And Seb turned around and said, well, rather than us just hiring you to be a freelance level designer, how about we just hire the company? And we've got this great thing, the Game Maker Fund, which is coming along, and we're able to finance as long as you can put together a project. And I went, I could put together a project, believe me, I'll have something together for you in like a week. It took a couple months later, we got officially hired under the Game Makers Fund, and basically we've been loving it ever since. We've been able to use the funds to just continue growing. We just announced a project a couple of days ago called Temple Golf on our social media channel, and honestly, none of it would have been possible without Sandbox. They literally just funded us all the way through. It's been a true pleasure working with them, and we're going to be working with them for years to come. So
Awesome. Johan?
Yeah. The first experience we had, as I told, we work in video games since a long time. We make VR game, and when we heard about Sandbox, we discussed with person with Sandbox, and we say we may have a game that we would like to create in Sandbox because it's working on plants, mushrooms, and you make potions, and we think it's a very interesting game. And when we present this game, Sébastien and Arthur say, it could be a good game for the Smurf because we have the license of Smurf. What do you accept we exchange with them, and why not to see if this game is good for the Smurf? So we exchange with the person of Smurfs, and now we do this experience. So it's already finished. Maybe it could be in the next season of Sandbox. We are so excited to launch it, and we're starting the first NFT drop now. And so we understand when we're doing that a lot of brands would like to come in Sandbox. And now with our video game studio, we have this experience that we can offer to brands who want to go to Sandbox and try to launch their first NFT in the metaverse. And so now with the experience we have in a video game company, now we start to push it in a communication agency. And there is a lot of brand in luxury, retail, charity who would like to come in Sandbox to test what they can do in this metaverse. It's the metaverse that most of people speak about now. So we are very interested to help them, to support them to go in the metaverse, and to try to help them to put the first step in the NFT. And that's, we grow up with the same time that everything growing up around us. So it's very interesting.
So hold on, you're responsible for bringing the Smurfs to the Sandbox?
Yeah.
What a legend.
The
I own one of these NFTs actually. I do, I've got an NFT, Sandbox Smurf. So thanks for that.
that was really
And finally, Julian?
Yeah, so it's a pretty funny story at start because Sandbox came to us as we are a 17 years old gaming studio. We have 60 people right now, so pretty big studio, but we had never met anything into the metaverse. So Sandbox came to us, and their goal was, what can we show? We want people to buy land and to be able to see what we can do on it. So we had a few exchange, and we wanted to make something really different than I would say classical RPG, so Sword and Shield, etc. So we decided we would bring the love into the metaverse. That's what we are doing. That's what we did. So we partnered with them. We made a social hub with every place so people can meet and have a metadate into this.
Cool.
And yeah, the community is overhyped with that. We already had, I think it's the third drop. So we have pretty pinky, shiny NFTs, something more light, you know. And yeah, it's going on and on. And we've brought our gaming expertise. We've shown what we can do, and on their side, Sandbox taught us step by step what is the metaverse, what is the NFT, how does work crypto, who is the community, and so yeah, it's a very nice marriage, a couple, I would say. So yeah.
So you already had a team in place who were doing other things, and then you found your way into the metaverse that way?
Metaverse came to us.
The
I would say that, and yeah, of course, I'm the game director, but initially I'm also a business developer. So, as a business developer, I can say, "Oh no, I'm not interested." So, yeah, what is that? That's the good way to go.
Great. So I guess this discussion is about, I guess, working in and working on the metaverse. So this is probably a two-part question. And first of all, I'm interested to find out how you went about building your own teams. So I guess there's many options you can choose here. So whether you have an office and you only employ local people, or whether you go and hire a team of freelancers. How have you gone about that? Or were you already established, so you already had it in place? And the second part to that question is, should anybody here in this audience today want to start working in the metaverse or get involved, how could they go about that?
Well, we are completely decentralized. I think that working in an office is so Web 1. So it's borderless. It's Web 3, so everybody's in their own home, in their own office, this borderless. So we hired some artists from Italy because there are many talented ones there, and they were struggling because I didn't know there were so many actually struggling. Very talented in comics and great drawers. And the good thing about the Sandbox in-house tools is that if you are a true artist, if you have an eye, you can really learn quite quickly. And there's a learning curve, and I would say after 3 months of intense training, they can really come up with something really amazing. So yeah, it's, the work office is like decentralized. It's about empowerment. And I forgot the second question, but.
So the first question was, how did you hire people? And the second one is, if anybody here in the audience today would be interested in getting involved in the metaverse, could you give them any advice?
So it's interesting because when I first started with Sandbox, nobody, really thought anything about it. And nowadays, so many people come to me and ask, how can I get in? How can I get in? So I just give names, Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it's, I forgot already.
So Vaughn, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure. So, can you remind me of that first question? We keep wandering off on tangents, don't we? Cards on the table, guys. We actually did a prep session yesterday, and that went just as badly as this is. So.
So I guess the question was, how have you gone about building your team? Are you hiring locally? Are you hiring freelancers?
Okay, well, we are a Unity-based team, so we were classic game development. So we had a team together in Dundee. So Dundee is UNESCO City of Design in Scotland, and we've got Abate right on our doorstep. Abate is, if you guys don't know, it's one of the top gaming courses in Europe, and it's for about 8 years running or so. So it churns out a lot of really amazing talent. So when we first started with Primordial, they have a series of events. You can't throw a stone without hitting some kind of social event that's going on in Dundee. I ran into the first two founders who are at our booth right now, if you want to come and say hi. We're all based in Dundee. We've got a really cool office in this very nice fancy section of Dundee where Tag Games, Rockstar got founded in the area as well. But once we got started with Sandbox, we actually went through a UK government scheme called Kickstart, which was a post-COVID system which was actually to help people get back into the workforce. One of the best things about Sandbox is that the game maker and the box edit are player-facing. They're designed to be player-facing. So it doesn't take too much effort for someone to actually start getting involved. We had someone who was actually on benefits, and she was a great artist, but she didn't really have any confidence in herself. So the Kickstarter team basically put her towards us, and we said, have you heard of Game Maker, Box Edit? They're actually very easy to use. Things like Blender, Unity, they tend to be, you do need to do a course really to really use them properly, even though they can be quite high powered. With Vox Edit, you can walk into it, and in about a week, you can at least throw something together. It's super easy to use. And really proud to say that literally she's been with us for about 8 months now, and once she got done with Vox Edit, she threw together some great stuff. She jumped straight into Blender, and now she's working directly with industry pros and everything, which is really fantastic. It's really accessible as well. We grew our team from about 5 people based in Dundee to, we're now almost worldwide. We've got 2 people in California, we have someone in Greece, we have someone in Vietnam, and essentially we just created this system where if someone is interested, we work with a company called PlayerState, which is really interesting. They do a lot of community competitions, and we award people sand, little bunches of sand, for it's basically creating these models and showcasing them. We do a little monthly award scheme, and we do a little post to be like, hey, look what these really great people did. And then sometimes with the winners, we kind of sidle up to them and say, look, you created something pretty good actually there. You ever thought about doing this as a job? So it's been really great, and so it really, I guess, the cornerstone goes by the ground is just that these programs are so accessible to so many people. Even if you don't have any training, you can jump in, doodle around, and just kind of grow your skill from there. And like Marie said, the potential and everything for this to grow just means that it's not just that there's going to be a huge demand, but with these programs so easy to use, they're all just the workforce is going to be there, and they just take this minimal amount of training in order to get them up to spec.
Fantastic. I'm going to switch it up a little bit now. So maybe this question to Johan. So for you, how important has it been creating partnerships with other people in the space in order to grow your business and grow your community and really work full time in the metaverse?
For the community, sir?
So how important has it been to create partnerships? I'm assuming you must have created partnerships with either brands or various other projects in the space. How important has that been for you? And maybe you could give us a couple of examples of maybe the partnerships that you have created and how they've worked.
The partnership with brand, you say?
Sorry?
Partnership with brand?
With Smurfs?
The Smurfs is a great example, yeah.
I don't understand really.
Oh, sorry.
Question.
Well,
There is a lot of noise.
I can answer that because we have many partnerships. Of course, we are working mainly on our own title elements, but it happens that in this industry, when you work for the Metaverse Sandbox, actually brands come to you. There are more brands wanting to build than actually builders at the moment, so that there is a real opportunity for sure. Especially if you have experience in building games. So we've been extremely busy, and we are working for. We signed Dogami, which is Everray. There was the guy earlier presenting his project. Everray, Dogami will be working for World of Women, a co-production with Cyberkongs. With Sunrush for Cyberkongs, and others that I forgot, Spells of Genesis, and Avenged Sevenfold, which is not a game IP, but a metal band from the US. Amazing band, by the way. So partnerships is just, there's no methodology. They just, actually Sandbox send them to you.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's just how much can you take, and yeah.
And Julian, do you have much experience with creating partnerships in the space?
So, of course, actually, for us to be able to understand how everything works, it was the main partnership with the Sandbox. And as Mary said, when you are doing something in the Sandbox, and when you are doing something great for your players, because this is the main goal, people just come to you, come to you, come to me. I could have talked with luxury marks, you know, who came and said, oh, maybe you can do some NFTs, some asset. We want to be into the sandbox. And they have to understand that being in the sandbox is providing an experience before any NFT drop or something. That's why, as Mary said, us video game makers are on the spot actually. So yeah, this is pretty great, and I hope, and I'm pretty sure we'll sign for this kind of deal.
Great. So just going to ask a couple more questions, but just to give the audience a warning here, if anybody's got any questions, I'm just going to ask a couple more, and then maybe we can move to you guys and open it up, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess my next one is, I haven't heard it. I mean, I know the conference has only just started now, so it's still early days, but I'm pretty sure as the day goes on and the conference continues, we're going to hear more and more about play to earn. I'm just wondering where you see that going within the sandbox and what you guys do as well.
Oh, okay.
That's for you.
So with play to earn, I think it is a really, like Ian actually mentioned during his talk as well, which is a really great point, is the digital assets, you know, it's not just a copy of a copy anymore. So the things that you actually have, the things that you get on the blockchain, they have tangible value. And that's kind of the secret to play to earn really, is creating this really fun, accessible system that Sandbox has made that lets people essentially, they have something, you know, it's not the same thing as getting a loot box or a DLC for previous video games. The things that you actually collect will have value. It's definitely an open-ended question. You know, it's going to be amazing to see the potential that Sandbox has to do this.
In terms of utility, the video game industry is, I think, a very good vertical to offer utility for your NFTs, your assets. So yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
In game, and what I working on a metaverse is like your game and mine. Actually, we could do some cross gaming. Have a holder who has one asset which could have a utility in your game, in my game, maybe a different kind of utility, and that's something that we are working on.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all just part of the same metaverse, isn't it? So you can seamlessly cross across. I mean, most, pretty much a classic video game is closed end. Once you've hit 100%, then you're essentially back to, okay, just pick up the next one. So this is, you know, there's so much potential just to be fully immersed in this now. And not only that, but you buy things and you pick things up, which will be worth, which will potentially be worth even more money. So it almost goes back to, well, not to give too much away, but we're looking at a system in the future which will harken back to almost things like when you buy a physical copy of a game and when you finish playing it, you basically sell it to the next person, except the twist is going to be is that rather than you selling it pre-owned so it loses value, chances are you've hit the finite amount of this NFT version of a game and you might actually make a profit. You finish playing it, sell it on, use the profits to buy a new game or buy new NFTs, and essentially you just keep growing, expanding your wallet, except from a gaming standpoint rather than an investor standpoint, which of course brings in, you know, the billion-odd players across the planet who need some accessible way of getting into this really exciting space.
Yeah, Johan, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah. For example, the NFT you can win in a game, in a metaverse, can give you an advantage in your real life. For example, when we're working for brand, we can imagine that on the other side is okay. Also, you can buy a product that give you an NFT you can use in metaverse and give you an opportunity to open a room that you can't open if you don't buy the product in the real life. On the opposite, you can win an NFT during the game, and it gives you an advantage in the real life after to have a special product in the shop. Mm-hmm. So we would like to speak with brands about that because they don't know. For most of them, NFTs, intangible, I don't know what it's used, it's just artistic. No, you can use it for business, we can make cross-selling, we can have a good idea, for example, to say what Mary said, but tomorrow we can make in Potion Land a potion for your game of love, Potion of Love. Yep. That's the advantage of metaverse, we can imagine cross things in the games.
Exactly, and I guess it goes back to that thing again about partnerships.
Yeah.
We're all working towards the same goals here, whether you're in Sandbox or Decentraland or any of the other virtual worlds. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. I think interoperability is something that I massively believe in, and I hope the Sandbox does decide to go down that way, which probably leads on to my next question, I guess. Where do you see the future of not only the metaverse, but also the future of opportunities to work within the metaverse? Because things are changing. We've just gone through a horrible 2 years of COVID and all this, and have you seen an effect on the way you look at hiring, and I guess, how do you see all this unfolding with the metaverse?
Yeah, I think something pretty interesting has been said. As with the metaverse, we are not on a competition, but on a partnership, and yeah, that's something that means really, really something. On the fact of hiring, so on our side we have 2 offices, one in the north of France, one in Paris, and every collaborator can use it as it will.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, everyone can be at home. If they need the office to have a meeting, they come, and it's totally free, and it's since the COVID.
And can you see that being ever switched over to the metaverse? So instead of going to a physical location, instead it will be the metaverse?
Of course, we can easily imagine having our offices into the metaverse too, because this is fun, interesting, and pretty sure NFT will be used to have access to meeting rooms, etc. in the next years and the next hour maybe. I mean, so yeah, it's a world colliding a world, and they are speaking each other, as you mentioned, with the possibility to have an NFT, to buy something special in the real world if you have it, and that's growing and growing just by thinking about it, I would say.
Yeah, I think now's a good point to add that. I think most people who are invested in the metaverse and spend their time working on building whatever it's going to become, it's not there to replace in real life events and moments and maybe conferences like this. It's there to complement them. So those people who can't be here today, they can, I guess, instead of being here, they can visit in one of the virtual worlds. I forget which one it is now, but they can be watching this live wherever they are and they can't make it. And if you can make it here, fantastic. So it's not here to replace, it's here to run alongside and almost on top of as another layer. But Marie, what do you think about the future of working in the metaverse, and how's that going to evolve over time? Can you see big growth there?
Oh yes, obviously. There's so much opportunity, so many new jobs that we are creating every day. I like what you said. It's about partnership and not competition for sure. I have a good example. We had a small moment of fame because I was looking at the map on the Sandbox, and our studio was close to other guys called the Sunrush, and they were doing a really great art. And we are in the metaverse, we are all friends, let's collaborate, let's build something crazy that nobody has done yet on the metaverse. Let's create a big landmark. And the Sunrush team is really, really, really good. And we had 8 artists during 3 months, and they worked really hard. And we had this thing called the Shrine of Truth, and it was put on auction on OpenSea. And we didn't know until the end who would win it. Pronxy was on it, working on it, and then it was bought by an anonymous person. And 2 days later, they announced it was Cyberkongs. Oh. And that's what I love, is you can build with friends that you like on any other studio, any other, anyone can be your partner, have a super cool project. And at the end of the day, you can keep it for your own game, for your own experience, or you can sell it. And actually, our studio is going to work with the Sunrush on the social hub for the Cyberkongs. So it's very limitless. It's something that I lived, and we really enjoyed doing. And yeah, the sky is the limit, as they say in the States.
Our lead artist, our art team was absolutely spitting bricks when we saw shrine of truth. It is still like our mantra. It's like our,
Yeah.
our unobtainable goal.
Now
is
it's
to try and
the
make
Shrine
something
of
that
Prongs.
good.
It's called the
Yeah,
Shrine
yeah.
of Prongs now.
We'll rally.
But
We'll
the
come back.
sunrush are
We'll try
amazing.
and.
They hand paint the texturing and it's
Oh, stunning.
yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
beautiful.
Fantastic. So I guess we've got just around about 10 minutes left. So I thought it'd be really nice to move to the audience and take some questions. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, have we got a microphone?
Hi there, thanks. Congrats to the organizers. Great conference. I want to preface my question just by saying that I'm starting an NFT art business that's looking to connect human emotions real time to art. So I've taken the red pill. But I have a philosophical question, which is, why do we need the metaverse? I mean, is there a fundamental need in us that the metaverse is meeting, or is this just another big commercial wave?
Well, that's a quite deep one. Vaughan, do you want to take that?
Oh, I knew you were going to throw this to me. Oh, crap. I guess in a very, just to hark back again to Ian's brilliant presentation, where he compared this right at the beginning to a new frontier, like, going to America. And I think human beings we're just naturally fascinated by new. We're always looking for the next big thing, not just to make money. I think it's just a natural curiosity. And then there's something you don't know too much about. And let's be honest, tech and gaming and everything has always been very cool. It's always been very well presented to the rest of the world. And it is something that people, even if they're not invested in tech, they know the flashy names, they know the titles. So one of the things, not just to go back and do another Sandbox plug, but one of the things that Sandbox is phenomenal at is that NFTs have always had this stigma, I think, as they've grown up, of being almost this unobtainable goal. Like there was this NFT on OpenSea by Gronkowski, which sold for like 200K, and there was an SNL sketch as well by Pete Davidson, where the literal point was he sits there and makes a bunch of random crap up. And then at the end, the person just goes, I've got no idea what you said. And Sandbox, I guess it's really just about kind of making this accessible, I think. And rather than everyone seeing NFTs as this weird thing that's only for the rich crazies out there, it is this viable business. And it's very tough to sell crypto to someone and say, it is about decentralized finance, when the last thing they've seen is this crazy sketch where you've seen this, this weird blinding seizure on your screen that sold for like £500,000. So yeah.
But we already are in the metaverse before the Web3. I think even a Twitter platform, any platform is a kind of metaverse. It's about digital identity. But the metaverse on Web3 takes it to another level, because on Web2 is all about the user is the product. On the Web3, the product is the thing that you do, but you as a user, you're the creator, and you own it and you are empowered. So that makes, to me, there are so many definitions of what metaverse is. To me, there's one criteria, which is decentralization, to me. And for other people, Roblox, which is great, is centralized, and Facebook is a metaverse, Twitter is a metaverse, Instagram is a metaverse. It's just somewhere where a digital, virtual space where people meet up and do their things. But for us, there's this decentralization ingredient, very important, at the core of it.
I guess it's just about taking online interactions to another level, Like, too long have we all been sat in chat boxes. I think people are naturally curious about wanting more. So I think my answer to that question would be, do we need the metaverse? Probably not. But is it there, and is it here to stay? And are people curious about it? And is it a platform where creatives can come and just go for it and see what happens? There are very few blueprints at the moment, so I guess it's just a melting pot of creativity at the moment. Should we take another question? Take another question from the audience? You can start this one.
Hi, thanks for the conference. I would like to know what the view for the next 5 to 10 years with the Sandbox is.
Oh,
Who wants to
Jump on that grenade.
we foresee for the next 6 months. So we know that the Alpha 3 is in June, and you are launching Alpha 3. Alpha 3, you're launching.
Yeah, I'm on Alpha 3. Yeah.
I am. Are you
Alpha
on Alpha 2? Okay.
He did
Alpha
Alpha
2,
2.
yeah, it was ahead. But we started like 10 months ago, and in June we are launching our experiences. Season 4, Alpha 4 should be very, very incredible. There are many, many features that they announced. And I think that along the way, I don't know when, but they are thinking of a DAO. Or no?
Oh,
Oh, okay. No, just delete it. You have to edit this. But the main goal is, of course, to take it even further into the decentralization.
I'm pretty sure you'll hear a lot about that at the conference during the coming day or two. There's plenty of the team from Sandbox here in and around, and yeah, they'll probably be able to give you maybe some insights on that as well. Do we have any more questions? Over at the back there?
One, yeah. Finished. Well done.
Thank you. Usually custody is a problem for assets, and you manage assets for your own assets as a gaming studios, and then you have partners. Is this really a problem for you, and how do you solve custody and distribution?
Did you? There's no. It's NFTs. No custodian. No, I don't understand the question.
I guess if you are you
I
talking
can
about
give you an
gas
example.
fees? Do you mean like gas fees and?
No, I mean like
transactions
you
network?
produce a collection of NFTs.
Yes.
Do you have one person in the company that manages the wallet
Ah.
those NFTs are?
Yeah, multi-sig.
Can your intern steal the NFTs or?
Of course, yes.
You want a job?
Actually, you just made me very
I can be
worried.
the
I should probably
intern.
check that.
The best way is to have a multi-sig system. Yeah. At the moment, it's very, yeah, I don't want to answer that, actually. I don't want to say how we do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good question, and when you work in a studio, you have many critical things. NFTs are one, and you have security protocols, etc. So to avoid, anyone stealing the NFT collection, of course, you have to have a security team. You have to have process. And the question is good because it's really important, and we have to use everything we can have, ledger, etc., or really good examples in the professional usage of NFT, creating NFT.
Just to jump on the end of that as well, the procedure with the Sandbox marketplace is that it's hosted by OpenSea. What you need is a MetaMask account or Uniswap or something, so that even though it's stored and can be transferred around, you of course have to sign any transaction and log it onto the blockchain by using either a wallet, OpenSea, Uniswap, something that's sponsored by Sandbox. So that procedure is in place. So basically, it's the same as any other blockchain style company, really, where you just have to protect your wallet.
Thank you.
Fantastic. I think that probably draws an end to this discussion today. I hope you've managed to get some great takeaways from it. First of all, I'd like to say all the experts can be found just behind here. They all have their own booths, professionally set up and ready to talk.
And I have, we made a POAP for this first edition of this conference. I don't know if you know what POAP is. Get one. I'll give you a flash code.
And if you want to speak to anybody in the NFT Plazas team, we'll be in and around the event today. There's a few of us around. Come say hi. We're actually going to be running some interviews outside to give you the opportunity to shill your project or whatever you're working on to our audience. I think we're about 60,000 now on socials. So yeah, we're a really friendly team. Come say hi, introduce yourself, and hopefully we can give you a bit more coverage. So finally, thanks very much to all our panelists today. Thanks to all the event organizers for putting this on, and thanks to you, our audience, for coming and listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.